I have returned. Bro uses his strategy. Look, I gotta accept and realize the realness. Alright? That was real Semz Kitsukoatl. He cracked the code, what can I say? It's because ever since Ruby Tomato, for unprompted, for no reason, just started denying sending pictures of Natsuki. And motivation to stream, it just went down extremely low, So, Semz cracked the code, I'm afraid. That once again puts him at first place in the Tomato Ling hierarchy. Don't do that. Don't do that. No. No, save your money. We're good. Everything's fine. Little seat now. Of course I think the same way. Rosa does too, right? Rosa? Huh? Sorry. This dude is... She don't pay attention to nothing. Every time someone mentions her name, he's like, huh? What? Huh? What's going on? Nah, what is she thinking about? She's thinking about that money. Me too. I think that too. What's wrong, Rosa-san? You've been really quiet for a while now. Are you feeling sick? From the beginning, Rosa had never been one to cut in on the siblings' fights. But even so, she seemed unmotivated, and had said, "Oh, sorry, I'm still thinking about Ruby said." We're good. It had said almost nothing during this night's conference. The whole time she had hung her head and appeared to be thinking of something else. You've been in a daze for a while now. Do you think you can protect the inheritance like that? You're also the mother of your child, so get a stronger hold on yourself. I'm sorry.
Did you wake up really early in the morning? If you feel sick, you shouldn't overdo it.
The beds in our guest rooms have been prepared. Ah, my cat did that. How about taking a rest? I will guide you. No, I'm fine. Thank you.
What is it? Is there something you're worrying about?
No, not really. Is that so? It feels like your mind has been elsewhere this whole time. I wonder if this has anything to do with what we've been talking about. At those words, everyone stared at Rosa together. As if in response, Rosa's shoulders quivered. I'm so mad that she's a character in Golden Fantasia. I'll never get over that. Like, out of everyone, bro, whatever, I'm over it. Apparently, Kairi's guess hadn't been wrong. Rosa couldn't deny it either. No, She swallowed whatever it was she had been trying to say and went silent again. Of course, the other siblings also began to realize that something about her appearance was different from usual. And she's annoying! Oh, brother. It just keeps getting worse and worse. Wonderful rage bait. Yeah, Ryukishi. I'm getting rage baited by Ryukishi. Whatever. I'm not talking about this. It's not even a game I'm gonna touch ever. Okay.
What is it? You've been weird for a while. Did you think of something? We all just swore to remain united, didn't we? Don't hold back worrying about yourself. We said we talk. Rosa, tell us.
The men pressed her one after the other. Rosa confessed resignedly and nervously. The atmosphere made it seem as though she was confessing to some modest prank, which had inevitably brought about a serious situation. No, this mistress of father's, this Beatrice, I was wondering if she's still alive. Huh? Wait, okay, no, she confused me a bit because I was like, we're all assuming she's still alive, but now she's saying that she isn't alive. Okay. But why? What is she getting? Like, unless she says that this is her daughter instead. Whatever she's about to say is gonna be hogswash. Huh? Isn't it obvious that she's alive? After all, she was able to send that letter to us.
Whether she's in good health or not is a different story, though. That woman in the portrait must be getting up there in age by now. I say she's healthy. People who are crafty when it comes to money stay healthy no matter how old they get. Her evil plan might even be the best rejuvenating agent.
This is what Jules said no when you ended last stream, literally edging us. I mean, I don't know what's happening. I don't understand why there's an edge just yet. What's going to happen? She shouldn't be alive. Huh? What did you say? Okay, wait, hold on. Okay, wait. Beatrice is dead. I knew it. I didn't know before. I just saying that the moment she said she shouldn't be alive, I was like, I should have said it. I always make this mistake. The moment she said she shouldn't be alive, I was like, what? Are you gonna say that you killed her? Like, okay, dude. I mean, this is awesome. This is why she's in Golden Fantasia. Okay, so drink water. Okay, so I think this just reinforces my theory about the daughter, because I believe Rosa. If my theory is correct, that means that Rosa really did kill Beatrice Sr., and that would just serve as a bigger motivation for Beatrice Jr. to try to get revenge on the family. So you know what? I don't doubt Rosa. But like, the thing that gets me is, why didn't she say this before? It's not like this is the first time she's heard of Beatrice. She heard about her in episode 2 and 3 as well. Wait, we're on episode 3. I mean, in episode 2, like, extensively so, she was with Beatrice. So why didn't she mention that then? So I don't know if Rosa is being truthful with these facts, which I can believe if it fits my story, or if this is another move by Beatrice Jr. changing the story to make it more interesting. I wonder. Very well.
What did you say?
What do you mean, Rosa? But it wasn't really me who killed her. The dogs, I did bring her into a place like that. No, I did kill her after all. I tried to make myself believe it was a dream. But it wasn't really a dream, was it? Which makes this a letter from Beatrice's ghost. It was so sudden that everyone was lost for words. Rosa kept on talking, unable to stop holding her head as her hair flew all about. Calm yourself, Rosa-san.
I have absolutely no clue what's going on. Already dead? What do you mean?
I think it means two things. First, its literal meaning, and second, it backs up our earlier guess.
Which means Rosa has met with Beatrice, right?
I never heard Rosa mention anything like that. Rosa, when was it? When could you have possibly met Beatrice? Long ago. Long ago. We just moved over to the island when I was still young. It wasn't my fault. It's not like I killed her.
Calm down. Nobody's blaming you for anything, alright? First, drink some water, okay? That's what son. The pitcher, please.
Yes. Here you go, Rosa-san. Please calm yourself. Until Rosa was able to calm her ragged breathing, no one was able to speak a word. She's coping, Sam. She's coping. Rosa and the Witch of the Forest. This is... Wait. Wait. I doubt I have a save for it. I wrote the save, I meant to load it, I'm stupid. I might have just screwed myself, I might have made the save, oh well. I was just gonna go back to, when Beatrice Jr. was talking to Beatrice Sr. And I'm thinking now that, I might have gotten Scott Cawthon, all your theories are wrong, goodbye. Are we gonna say that the little girl from back then was Rosa? Did it look like her? I wish I could have gone back. I'm gonna go back to my previous stream. I'm sorry for delaying. But I need to look at this now. Like, I mean, sure, I guess that's cool, but I don't really see the purpose of it, but that's not my problem. Okay, this should be the stream. No, it's the next one. That's Resident Evil. Wait, it wasn't that one. So is this one? Yes, it's this one. Okay, found it. Okay, because Beatrice, I'm still calling them Senior and Junior for now, but Beatrice Senior does not look like our Beatrice, but you know, witches, so it could have changed. Wait, I'm so stupid, we don't get to see the little girl. We're from her point of view, she never gets a sprite. Okay, so it's definitely Rosa. Because if it wasn't Rosa, they would have been able to show it and it wouldn't have been obvious, but they think that showing the sprite of the little girl would have been too obvious. I'm on the fence. I'm, you know, you always gotta come double prepared. So either that flashback was Beatrice Jr. and Beatrice Sr., like how Beatrice alluded to after the flashback, or it was our Beatrice talking with Rosa, or an actual still Beatrice Sr. talking with Rosa. Because, no, let's think about it rationally, without magic. So, I think this makes a lot of sense. I think it really was Beatrice Sr., the mistress of Kinsel, talking to baby Rosa. And Beatrice Jr., and Beatrice Jr. would still exist because no, it could have been after, okay, it's not. During the flashback, Beatrice Jr. did not exist yet, I think. Or maybe she was being kept hidden. Either way, it doesn't matter. Just, what matters is that Beatrice Sr. is the mistress of Kinsel, and Rosa was talking with her at a young age. Okay? Yeah. Okay. Let's continue.
Beatrice, I have been calling you for some time now.
Pura Semz? It means a lot of things. No, I don't know what that means. Okay, so this is the house from before, but also Kinso's very old right now. What do you say about? Oh, right. I see. Well, so far so good. So this is the house where baby Rosa was at. We see Kinso, but he's old right now. So this was after the flashback. So it makes sense that Beatrice. I mean, no, wait, no, because again, nothing. We can't believe everything we see. I don't know. There's too many possibilities. There's either like a flashback, but after the flashback we saw before. So there's the same. This is the secret manor on the island, is what I'm assuming. And Beatrice Senior is already dead, which means Kinso did get to see Beatrice Junior grow up. So how does he not know is his daughter? Or maybe like the whole thing is that he does know it's his daughter this whole time. This whole time we've been thinking that it's a romantic thing where he wants to get back with his wife, but maybe he just wants to see his daughter again. I don't remember exactly if any of his dialogue has been explicit about love. Romantic love, I mean. Either way, it's a lot of possibilities. Like, it's either that or maybe this is Beatrice Senior, but it's just that they look so similar. But even though we already saw Beatrice Senior before and it didn't look like her, maybe we should change hairstyles, you never know. It's too many possibilities of what's going on right now. Interesting. Okay, whatever. Who are you? My apologies. I was lost in thought. Forgive me.
The weather is pleasant. Yes, I can understand how the weather has stood in your heart. But you have your black tea here.
Who am I? I don't know.
I will bring some tea now. Wait here for a while.
Forget about the tea. Talk with me.
Very well.
Kinso had used the excuse of getting black tea to try and interrupt the conversation for the time being, but this attempt has been very transparent. I sat in a garden chair and beckoned Kinso to do the same. Kinso sat down, heavily exaggerating his age. For a while we sat and appreciated the silence. Who am I? Until today, no one has answered this question. For some reason, everyone averts their gaze and evades me. So far, the way Kinso's talking to her and the way she's saying right now, it really does seem like she's an estranged daughter. And that's why she's asking, like, metaphorically, who am I? Am I an Ushiramiya? Am I never bound to have your last name? And like how she says that everyone turns away from her, like it's an embarrassing thing. It's shameful to have an estranged daughter. I have known you for a long time. I think of you as my best friend, even as a father. That is why I want so much for you to tell me. You should know who I am.
Why are you worried about something like that? You are Beatrice.
Okay, no, I'm convinced. This is an estranged daughter. Beatrice Senior we saw before, the one that was talking to Rosa, or perhaps little Beatrice, it's still unclear, was the mistress. Now, this is after that flashback, like way after. Kinso's older. The rest of the Ushiramiya family probably doesn't come to this mansion anymore. Beatrice is older now, obviously. She's an adult now. And obviously Kinso knows about her, so Kinso named little Beatrice after his mistress because that's the person he loved. I'll be honest, I'm assuming that he's the one that killed Beatrice Senior, probably to keep a secret or some such. Maybe she wanted to run away, maybe she just didn't want to love him anymore. And what else was I gonna say? Alright, and now my main problem is that I don't remember if any of Kinsel's lines in the other episodes were explicitly romantic. Because I don't think so. Like, the whole thing with me is that I never saw it as romantic. I always kept saying that it's obsession, possession, and just wanting her as an object. So it still works if he was talking about his daughter the whole time instead. So he didn't make a portrait of his mistress. He made a portrait of his daughter because that was the spitting image of his mistress and like the last reminder and remainer of the person he loved. Quote unquote love. Very interesting. Can't wait to get Scott Cawthon. The master of
this mansion. Is that not so? What more could you want to know?
I don't know. So she doesn't know that she's a bastard child that was kept hidden from her.
What's this? Don't you even understand what it is you want to know? How mysterious. In one's youth, there are times one wants to play in the maze of thought that has no exit.
So right now with Bernkastel and Lambda Delta, we have been indoctrinated to believe that witches don't have last names, they only have their name. But now it's really interesting that it makes more sense that Beatrice doesn't have a last name because she's a bastard child, so she can inherit the Ushinomiya name. And most likely because Kinso's keeping hidden the truth about her mother, he didn't want to give her her mother's last name either. Because that would like, okay, where does my last name come from? Why is my last name different from yours? And yada yada and all that.
Perhaps that's what your worries are.
Kinso laughed as though it was a trivial matter. However, I couldn't help but feel that this behavior was another attempt to force me to stop any further questioning. So you won't tell me after all?
There is nothing to tell. You are Beatrice. Isn't that more than enough?
No, that's not it. What I wish to know is not my name. It is who I am. Who am I? What am I? How long have I been here? And how long will I have to continue my days here?
I really should bring back some black tea. Do you think it's a waste of all this fine weather?
What's all this about? It looks like it's probably the story of your past, right? Something like that. To think I would go this far back. Looks like you had some pretty deep worries even then. Wondering who you were. That is to be expected. At that time I was unable to understand who I was, or why I was alive. And obviously, like, their trick and their defense is gonna be that Kinso just summoned her. So that's why she doesn't know what her true purpose is, but not Hogswash. Well, in puberty, everyone's captured by those philosophical worries at least once, wondering what meaning there is in their life. Doesn't this just prove that you had a charming period like that at one point? I've been in that mansion since the time of my birth, and I only lived inside the mansion. Of course, I went out into the garden, but the area around the mansion was surrounded by a very tall fence. I was unable to leave through it. And I was told severely that I mustn't leave. I could walk freely throughout the mansion and the garden, but outside of that, not once was my desire to take just one step outside my own accord granted. What do you mean by that? This is weird. They're making it like too obvious. Like, they even said birth? Like, she's a witch, she shouldn't have been born. Why are you using these words? But, and Beatrice is saying this, so am I getting punked right now? Am I falling for her trick? Like, is she trying to convince Butler that the mistress story is true? Because that's going to help her pull a prank on him, and I'm falling victim to it. Whatever. What do you mean by that? Are you trying to say, as far back as you can remember, you were always a bird in a cage? That's what I thought at the time. After all, as soon as I became aware I was living like that, I didn't even think to question it. Who in the world are you? That's it? That is what I also hope to know. I'm sure you'll say something like that. I wasn't human, I was a witch, right? No, that's not true. That isn't true yet. Okay, like she has said this before. So she's just admitting that she was a human once and then became a witch. But she keeps saying she's a 1,000-year-old witch. And here, Kinso isn't 1,000 years old, so... And you're saying you were born here with Kinso, so... You're contradicting yourself, lady. Like, I assume you're trying to say, this is where I was born, and when I was human with Kinso, and then I became a witch after I met Kinso, and that just don't make me make no sense. Or should I say, that was once the case? I was constructed by Kinso, a human built by a human. But you lived for 1,000 years, what are you talking about? I don't know what this fella's on about, but... She's acting a fool right now. And anyways, that's, to me, when I read that, that's just allegory for, you know... You were born because of your father, Kinso. No, perhaps I should call it a cage made of flesh. That's a Deltarune reference right there. What the hell? This is getting weird. You probably won't believe it anyway, but listen first. I was a mighty witch who had lived for 1,000 years. Okay, here she go. But at one point, I was summoned by Kinso. And by that hidden art, I was bound as his prisoner for eternity. There you go, okay, thank you. Now I understand the story you're spinning. It's a hogwash, but I'm understanding the story you're spinning. So it's basically just a coping mechanism, saying, like, she was born here, little lady, grew up and all that, but she's saying, no, like, I was born here, but my spirit was alive for 1,000 years before that, you know. I was like, she's just coping. It's cool in a way. It's very similar to what Maria does. Maria copes with her traumas and horrible life by thinking that she's a witch, and that after everything's over, she's going to live in the Golden Land with the witches and all that. So Beatrice is the same. She grew up thinking to herself that before I was a 1,000-year-old witch, so I have power. I have power to get revenge on Kinso and all that. It's very human. Your story that you're spinning right now, Beatrice, is just making you feel more human, buddy. You fell off. I never heard that before. From what we hear in the Ushiremiya family, you were summoned by grandfather. Made something like a devil's contract with him and gave him the gold. Indeed, that is correct. Then I was supposed to vanish until the contract was complete, but, well, popular women have it rough. By some turn of events, Kinso fell in love with me. Grandfather's nearsightedness must have gotten pretty bad. With an astigmatism, too. To fall in love with you, of all things. Huh. Well, to me, there could be nothing more bothersome. However, the power of humans is a frightening thing. He displayed that fearsome power and rooted me to this place. He said that I wouldn't be freed until I nodded my head in agreement. Such an overbearing man. Isn't that awesome? Everyone knew grandfather was obsessed with the occult. But who would have guessed he had power to root down the great witch Beatrice? Ridiculous. Who would have believed such a weird story? As I thought, you don't believe. All I believe is the fact that you lived in this hidden mansion in the middle of the forest. You are the 19th person on Rokkenjima, right? Indeed. Just as you imagine, this is deep within the forest of Rokkenjima. A hidden mansion not to be found from the outside world. Its name is Kuwadorian. 9 Birds Retreat. Come to think of it, I heard a guest house's real name was Torayan, visitor's retreat. I see. The naming sense is similar. So you're your grandfather's mistress who lived here in secret. Isn't that right? Mistress isn't the right way to say it. You should probably call it Kinso's unrequited love, I know this word, I just can't say it right now. Unrequited, there you go, love. I spoke of it just now, correct? He fell in love with me of his own accord. He was courted me, but I rejected him. Then I was shut up in this hidden mansion. No, that's not quite right. It would be more correct to say that I was shut up in this body. I have no idea what you said at the end there. You would just make fun of it and refuse to listen, right? After all, you say you don't believe in witches or magic. If you have no ears to hear what I tell you, saying it would be the pinnacle of foolishness. I'll decide whether I believe or not. After all, if I don't ask, the story won't continue. Tell me. Let's hear the story from your past. Very well. I refused Kinso when he courted me, but he was not a man to lose heart at something like that. He wanted to make me nod my head in agreement no matter what. He shut me up in this mansion and spent an eternity trying to win my heart. Talk about overbearing. Guess no one likes obstinate men, huh? Regardless of whether I responded to his courting or not, having a man so desperate for me was, well, as a woman it wasn't so unpleasant. However, I never accepted his proposal. I tried to find some way to break through his guard, but that barrier was firm and I couldn't crack it. And then, after trying to resist in various ways, I eventually reached the conclusion that to escape from Kinso's barrier, I would have to throw away this body of flesh. The physical body is a vessel with many restrictions for a magic user. Throw away your body of flesh. What does that mean? Something like an out-of-body experience? Well, if you want to think of it that way. However, I am no spirit. Even though I am a witch, in the beginning I was born with a human's body of flesh. So for me, throwing away the physical body, while it didn't mean the same thing as death, it did require a similar level of resolve. So in other words, you decided that you couldn't be released except by suicide, is that it? Masterful, masterful. She's combining her story with her mother's. That's what happened to Beatrice Sr. Kinso became too obsessed over her, so Beatrice Sr. killed herself to escape all of it, leaving her daughter behind. And now she's just mixing both stories. It doesn't matter if Kinso named her Beatrice or if she herself named herself Beatrice. What matters is that she is her mother. Like, she wants to get revenge for her mother. She's doing all of this for her mother, so it makes sense that she would also take her mother's story as her own. That's very clever. I like that a lot. Because like this whole time I've been quiet. I wouldn't put it past Kinso if he saw so much of Beatrice Sr. and Beatrice Jr. that he would try to court her as well. As weird as that is. But no. This new sense of Beatrice Jr. mixing both stories together makes a lot more sense. Kinso never tried to court Beatrice Jr. He tried to court Beatrice Sr. And she isn't telling her story right now. She's telling her mother's story and disguising it as her own. It wasn't suicide. It was nothing more than throwing away my body of flesh. Of course, becoming nothing more than a soul is a precarious situation. When the soul leaves its body of flesh, it is constantly exposed to the strong winds of the sun. It is not easy for me to maintain myself and avoid being scattered by them. It was a final measure that I wanted to avoid if I could. However, there was no other way to break through Kinso's barrier. Anyway, I am an unfettered person. I couldn't stand being kept in a cage until Kinso's life was over. I couldn't see the stuff Batu kept going on about throwing away her body of flesh as anything more than suicide. Grandfather persistently courted her, and to escape from that, she chose her own death. So you're saying you committed suicide? What are you talking about? Isn't that you sitting carefree here in the garden chair? That's right. That is the new cage I was given by Kinso. Cage? You mean this mansion? No. Okay, before she says that, she means the body currently in the chair, and that is just very allegorical and metaphorical way of saying that after her mother killed herself, her role in the story and her role in Kinso's life and her role in this mansion was replaced by Beatrice Jr., aka a new body. I'm in my body, relaxed in the garden over there. Even though I was so desperate to escape that I became naught but a soul, Kinso still had no intention of letting me go. Oh, he was a fearsome person. Normally, when the object of one's unrequited love shows that she is willing to die, it should be enough to bring that person to their senses, even if their love has lasted 100 years. Perhaps that's why even he managed to become a sorcerer of sorts. Don't try to confuse me with that incomprehensible witch girl talk. What exactly are you trying to say? That Kinso didn't let me escape even after I became a soul. This is so fun and clever. This is like the most clearest thing they have said so far, but in a way that is so unclear, and I love that so much. Like, I can't wait to be proven wrong, but this is such a fun way of telling this story. Like, because of her name and because of what role she's playing, I don't think she truly believes that she is her mother. Maybe she does. Maybe her delusion does go that far and she isn't trying to lie. It's just that she genuinely believes that, or Kinso made her believe that. Like when baby Beatrice was growing up, Kinso was just filled her head saying, you were this woman once and you have died and now you have been reincarnated in this body. So it's like Kinso's trauma that has made Beatrice believe this. Either way, it's just so cool. I love it. It's so fun. What a cool story. Human emotions are terrifying. To think that he would be able to exhibit such power, trying down a dead soul, is not something that can be accomplished easily, not even for a magician who specializes in such matters. Because I knew this, Kinso's fearful magic power shocked me for the first time. That's why she also says that she's 1,000 years old and all that. Because I don't think combining both ages would lead to 1,000 years old, but that doesn't matter. It's just allegorical. She's just saying that. You get it. You get it. This is cool. Really cool. Then Kinso seized my soul and brought me back. However, a cage to hold a sea soul cannot be made from iron or lead. Only one thing remained. What? You aren't going to say it was a magical cage or something, are you? Wrong! It's that body of flesh over there, just like yours or mine. Only a cage made of flesh and blood can tie a soul down to this world. Kinso shut my soul up in a cage of flesh built to be exactly like me. Huh. So to sum up, it's like this. Grandfather obstinately courted you, you started to hate it and you committed suicide. But you weren't clever enough to finish the job. Damn. You really took a roundabout way to say something like that. No, that's wrong. My soul was shut up in the seat of a homunculus, and I was born out of a test tube. Huh? Well, that's crazy. That isn't even possible, right? Kinso accomplished even the miracle of creating life, and simply to shut my soul up in that cage. That also is allegorical, you know. Miracle of creating life, yeah. Duh. That's how he would show such magical power, simply because of his own love. A thoroughly terrifying person. A homunculus. Stop fighting! It's already gotten pretty ridiculous. Say whatever you want. I won't believe anything anyway. Just do what you like. Huh. What's with this unpleasant attitude? Huh. In the beginning, I showed a little interest thinking that there might be some huge hint hidden here. But the more I ask, the weirder this story starts to get. Starting to take a bit of a weird route. I get the feeling that even though this is supposed to be a game about denying witches, I'm suddenly getting forced to just swallow this story about witches. Sorry, but I don't feel like listening to this anymore. Oh, Butler, you're so washed. This is like better just keep talking to me and not you. But I guess that's my goat. I missed her so much. I missed her so much. I recently did a fighting game. It was a template of saying what your favorite character is in a bunch of fighting games, and there was like a random slot where you could just put from any fighting game that's not mentioned in the template. And even though I never played it, I put Beatrice in that. She's the best. I miss her. Sorry, but I don't feel like listening to you anymore. Just keep on rambling on to yourself as much as you want. I'll be over here picking at my earwax or something. When I started acting cold, Bato seemed unusually discouraged. Of course her expression was still shameless. But it's not really easy to understand an expression of hers. I had the feeling I was able to catch a glimpse of loneliness at my failure to find the story of her past interesting. For some reason, that subtle reaction made her seem pitiful. So even though I kept my careless attitude, I decided to cover for her slightly. Damn it, even though she's an irritating witch, I'm still weak against her because her chromosomes are XX. Well, I got absolutely no desire to believe you, but keep going. Let's have a bit of a story instead of a tea snack. So you treat the story of my past like little more than a snack. Do you expect me to just casually tell you when you insult me like that? After I made fun of her, Bato reacted a little sensitively. It looks like even though making fun of people was her specialty, she was horrible at being made fun of others. It's because you're insulting her mother. She actually feels something about this one. Just then, my black teacup suddenly made a sound, surprising me.
My lady's soul was seized and breathed into a cage of new life. In other words, my lady received life as a human once more.
Before I realized that the demon butler had taken up my cup and was adding more black tea to it. Run away. Enough of that. This person just said it was too ridiculous to be worth listening to. Well, it's too ridiculous to be worth talking to.
I'm making some new cookies right now. Until they're ready, I thought you might find the story of my lady's past to be a perfect substitute for a snack.
Didn't I say that's enough talking about me? Such unpleasant people, the lot of you. I'm leaving. Run away, serve our food and go. No pointless chit-chat with Battler.
Certainly. I will make an effort.
Bato's short temper peculiar to women, which I didn't really understand, took hold of her, and she turned her body into gold butterflies, scattered and disappeared. After that, only Ronove and the scent of black tea were left. I feel kinda bad. Like I pissed her off or something.
As long as you're aware of yourself, I need say nothing more.
Wait a sec. Weren't you the one who struck the finishing blow?
My, what can you mean by that? How would you like some sugar and milk?
Just milk will be fine. And some tea snacks would be nice too.
Well, they will be a bit longer before the cookies are ready.
Didn't you say we already got something to use in place of a snack?
Certainly. If you will listen quietly, I will continue the story.
She said something about a homunculus. I know a bit about that. It's that thing, right? From the thing? That does the thing? A manufactured human created with alchemy or something.
Yes. My lady's body was shut up in a homunculus and she was revived into this world, receiving life again as a baby. However, because she was a baby, any professions of love on Kinso's part would have been quite useless.
You're insane. That grandfather shut the baby up in his hidden mansion until it grew to reach the same age even?
Correct. That is what I'm saying. However, while her soul was the same, a human spirit is strongly influenced by its container. My lady lost all of her memories of the past and grew up as a very normal human girl.
And you're saying that's the battle sitting in the garden chair?
Yes, that is correct. It grew to be completely identical. However, it did not possess her powers as a witch. My lady was completely human.
She asked who she was. The meaning of those words was finally starting to click. She couldn't understand why she was living here all locked up. Grandfather had seized Beatrice's soul, shut it up in the body of flesh, and then shut that up in a hidden mansion. However, since she had lived here since the time of her birth, she couldn't even understand who she was, or why she lived shut up in here. Wait. Who would take such a stupid story seriously? Why don't I change my interpretation? In other words, couldn't it be something like this? Grandfather met Beatrice. Wait. Could he start to cook? He then fell in love with her and courted her, but she didn't accept him. Then he flew into a rage and shut her up inside the hidden mansion. Beatrice tried to escape, but no matter what she did, she couldn't escape, so she finally chose her own death. And then... no. Maybe that there was a girl who looked just like Beatrice. No, a baby. Grandfather raised this child with care, but maybe he didn't view this child as his daughter. The soul was once again shut up in a cage of flesh. Those words probably meant that he didn't view this kid as her child, but as her reincarnation. Maybe that's what it meant. If you interpret it that way, even a story this weird might make a little sense. No. This might be some bullcrap battle cooked up to confuse me. If I could accept any of this. In the first place, Kuwadorian, was it? There's no proof whatsoever that a hidden mansion actually existed. Couldn't this be something she just fabricated on the spot? Okay, before we get to that. Battler started cooking there for no reason. So I'm beginning to, like, when they make something so obvious like that, it tends to not be true. So maybe I'm wrong, but it just makes sense. But Butler just started cooking so hard out of nowhere. I don't know what to believe. Whatever, I guess. Anyways.
A hidden mansion called Kuwadoria and thus exists in the forest of Ronkinjima. That is the place we were just talking about.
Huh? Red? Rurobe used the red to say that Kuwadorian really did exist. Did that mean the same thing as the red battle used?
I may not look it, but I am a demon. Please keep this secret from my lady, yes?
Sure. Bato, who knew I would try to trip her up, had grown extremely cautious when using red. To think that Rurobe could also use the red. However, it was the red of a crafty man. I didn't know how far I could accept it. But anyway, I might be able to get some kind of hint out of it. So that Bato realized in the garden of Kuwadoria and in that conversation she had with grandfather was the truth.
Yes, it is the truth. In the past, the pair actually had a conversation like that in this place.
Just reinforcing my theory. so far? Thanks a lot. I'll ask for some more red. You said she was born from a homunculus. But does that kind of unscientific magical thing actually exist? Oh crap. Okay, phew. I am unable to answer that question. After all, doing so would cause a stalemate. A stalemate? What does that mean? It's a chess term referring to a state in which, similar to a perpetual check, any further progression in the game becomes impossible. This would be the opposite of an endless repetition of moves, because all moves would disappear and it would be about a kind of deadlock. In chess, this would lead to a draw, just as a perpetual check would. However, there can be no draws in the game between you and Milady. Therefore, I am unable to answer a question that would bring about a stalemate. You obviously want to confuse me by saying incomprehensible stuff. But simply put, you're trying to dodge the question because you can't use the red to say that something magical like a homunculus exists, right? If I were to say in red that a witch exists, what would you do, Butler-sama? Whether or not I believe that is what our whole fight is about, right? You're always told that point blank. It'll be game over. If I said a witch exists in red, you would have no room for argument. However, since the reason would never have been made clear to you, Butler-sama, you probably wouldn't accept it. However, after being told that in red, you would have no reason for argument and would not have been shown any proof. In this situation, even though you wouldn't be able to admit defeat, you would have no way to make a counter-argument, and it would become a deadlock. Even though checkmate would not have been reached, there would be no existing moves left. Since you would not be able to play your next hand, it would never become Milady's turn, and the game would stop there for all eternity. As a result, Milady would be unable to force you to submit. That would be a deadlock situation. In order to avoid that, I am unable to answer questions of this manner in red. So, to say it quickly, you're saying point-blank questions are prohibited. Well, that's true, I guess. If I were told which exists, I'll have to give up from the start. I am pleased that you understand. I believe we might be able to work together if you ask your questions in a different form. Can you help me with that line Beatrice dodged when I told her to repeat it? About the number of people on this island? If Milady had held back on repeating it, then I, of course, cannot repeat it. As Milady's furniture, I am unable to be too forward. Ronove made an exaggerated gesture, trying to act like a loyal retainer. This guy's so shameless. Just when I thought you might actually be useful. I'll give up on that and search for a different question. That's right. I was forgetting to check something important. This is a story about Belto's memories, right? When did it happen? It couldn't have been happening right now, right? Correct. This is the world of 1967. Wait a sec for a moment there. (1967, 1977, 19... So... It makes sense. It makes sense. So, I'm going to assume the Beatrice we saw in the flashback is not accurate to how she looked at that time. I think she was much younger during that time. Because if they showed that, it would become too obvious, I guess. So I'm going to assume she was much younger during that flashback. So if we assume for some reason that she was a baby in that flashback, that would make her exactly 19 years old, like Butler. But obviously not. She was like, let's say she was at least 10 or something in that flashback. So she would be in her 30s. Let's be generous and just say that she's somewhere in her middle 20s. Like, no matter which route you go to, if this really is a love story between Butler and Beatrice, it ain't looking good for Beatrice. I don't know, I think we gotta lay off George. It ain't looking good. It ain't looking good. The word of 19 years previous. Let's try rearranging the story again. I wonder if it couldn't be something like this. Grandfather fell in unrequited love with a person called Beatrice. Then he confined her in this hidden mansion and continued to court her. But she was stubborn and didn't give in. Eventually she grew pessimistic about being able to escape from here and probably committed suicide. And then her soul was put in a homunculus and no, if I accept that, it's the same as accepting the witch. I can interpret that part like this. She probably had a posthumous daughter. Grandfather must have believed that her love had been placed in a new physical body, and might have thought that the child was the reincarnation of Beatrice. That means at least 19 years ago, Beatrice existed on this island as the 19th person. I'm starting to get confused. Either way, we can't do more than speculate. The only thing we can say for sure in red is that in 1967, in a hidden mansion on Ronkenjima, Beatrice existed as a human. That's all.
That is correct. In 1967, in a hidden mansion on Ronkenjima, Beatrice-sama existed as a human.
Oh, thank you. That really helps.
Congratulations. With this, you have made clear the existence of the piece known as the 19th person.
Okay. I don't get it no more. I think I'm gonna drop the game. Because I thought that there's people that finish this game and come out of it believing that magic is real. How can you do that when they're making it so blatantly obvious that magic isn't real and all of this can be explained? Like if they didn't do what Butler just did right now, if they just let Beatrice explain her story and let me come to the conclusion that it makes sense, she was talking about her mother the whole time, right? But now you have Butler just clear cut yelling at your face what's happening. Like how can anyone come out of this thinking that magic is real? I thought this was a good game that was smart and would end with an open-ended ending where you could choose whatever you want. But I don't think so no more. What's going on right now? What's going on? I think this game might suck. Hi, Phoenix. Oh, brother. You have 6 episodes left to read, little bro. There's like... Look at what Butler just said. If these things were kept hidden to like make me think about them, fine, but he's just writing it out for you. That /J was for a message saying, just getting here to hear you this in the Butler battery strips. So, I mean, you gotta do the math. It ain't looking good. 5. Yeah, nothing happens in those episodes. Nothing ever. That's not the, like, things are going to happen in those episodes. So you know what's gonna happen is it's just gonna be Butler being not washed and figuring things out, so that there's no choice but to accept that magic isn't real. That's what's gonna happen. I believe the same as you, Axel. At the same time, at the end, you're all just gaslighting and full of hogswash. Every single one of you. Once again, Jules is the only one that's not full of hogswash, because she isn't trying to gaslight me right now. I bet she doesn't believe in magic, unlike all of you stupid heads. Anyways, Ori and Ember are speaking the truth, and Jules will say this. Nah. Okay. I want a genuine answer. I want a genuine answer from every one of you. Did you end this game believing in magic or not? Answer. It's not spoilers. It's not gonna influence me. I am so, right now, at this moment in time, I'm sure I don't, I'm joking around. I'm playing along with the bit of me being this guy. But I'm sure by the end, I'll get convinced. That's part of the story. It happens. But for now, I am absolutely not, right? So I want a genuine answer. It's not a spoiler. It's not ruining me. It's not pressuring me to move on to the other side. Answer me, each one of you. Did you end this game believing in magic or not? Exact opposite of Semz. I ended the game completely believing magic is real. Okay, that's Phoenix. After the third playthrough, yes, that's Mitra saying also magic. So we have 2 magic members right now. I know that Ruby basically confirmed that Jules was magic and Semz was not, but I want both of them to answer, and I want Ruby to answer as well. 3 answers left. I want to know. I am headstrong. I'm going in all the way. Dead set on not believing in magic. I want to beat it. I want to beat this. There was beautiful magic indeed. So that's 3 people. I'm lying, by the way. Oh my gosh, this guy. Okay, never mind. So that's 2 people. Orion and Tomate, who ended the game believing in magic. Where's Jules and Semz? I will continue while they answer.
Congratulations. With this, you have made clear the existence of the piece known as the 19th person. A 19th human for you to blame, just as you long for. A sacrificial sheep upon which you can shift the blame of any crime. How amusing that it happens to be Milady.
Ronovel laughed indiscreetly. Somehow I didn't like how he put that, so I didn't feel like laughing along with him. That's right. There's that thing on Rosa said. Beatrice is dead. I killed her. What did that mean?
As for that, it may be faster to see the actual circumstances rather than listen to me tell you. Let us advance the clock a little more.
Ronovel pulled a stylish pocket watch from his pocket and touched the watch stem. I like that sense a lot. Pulled a stylish pocket watch from his pocket, which a watch was inside. As soon as he did, I saw gold butterflies gather behind his bag and take the form of a person. Was it Bato? I quickly realized that it was someone else. Oh, brother. Semz too. Right, okay, so like Gems was absolutely exposed. Wait. Golden Land. Umineko's so good. I love having hope and love and believe in magic. I'm still gonna believe in witches and magic. La 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 la. Okay, so literally every one of you, I'm going to be the one that doesn't fit in. Watch me. Absolutely not. You all wait. Just you all wait. Absolutely not. It's all hogswash. All absolute hogswash. I'm nothing like y'all. I love that picture. Just making sure I don't fit in. Clip the save it, ship it. Please do. One of any of you, clip it, ship it, save it, pin it. Just please. For 1 year later when bro is I framing this last 7 minutes of my life. Look, I am a reasonable person. I am so, like, I'm playing along with the bit. I really don't want to believe in magic, and I'm going to do my absolute best to disprove it for as long as I can. But I'm so excited for about what could possibly happen later that truly convinced all of you. I'm so excited to be convinced myself if it happens. Yeah, certainly can't wait for when you finish this completely believing in magic. It was her. The oldest sister of the 7 stakes who loved tormenting me more than her 3 meals a day. If I didn't consider myself lucky to say that, I won't be able to keep up with that torture game. I already forgot all the voices I gave them. Ronobu-sama, so you're still here? There's an urgent call from Beatrice-sama.
My. What kind of urgent business could it be? It seems my chat with Butler-sama has run a tad long. Well then, Butler-sama, if you would excuse me. Please continue to enjoy your game with my lady.
Yeah. I'll enjoy it as best as I can, because my conversations go a lot more smoothly when they're with you, as opposed to her. And you're more gracious with the red too. Come and talk again anytime you like.
Butler-sama, despite how I look, I am my lady's manager. I can do nothing that my lady does not desire. What I said in red was something that normally should have come from my lady's mouth. I did nothing more than announce the red truth in my lady's place as she sought.
So she really was talking then. Seeing me and Ronabe incomprehensibly hitting it off. There's that steak Ned-chan cocked her head curiously. Ronabe-sama, we are keeping Beatrice-sama waiting. Let us hurry.
Yes, I shall go immediately. Well, Butler-sama, I will see you later. It appears that we have finally started getting along. As I thought, I have the feeling we will manage to become good friends.
Hurry it up! There's like 2 lovey-dovey couples on the phone saying, no, you hang up. No, you hang. Just get along already. Just go, shoot. Sure, if you mean partners are gossiping behind Bato's back. Ronabe-sama!
Yes. If you would excuse me.
Thank you, Lucy. I felt the same. Maybe she didn't try like seeing him act so friendly with me, or maybe she really had been told to hurry. When the steak Ned-chan let out a thunderous cry, Ronabe laughed furiously and disappeared as if running away. Came to the stream betting for the horse, now betting all against horse. Oh well. It's time to be disappointed, Ruby Tomate. I played Danganronpa. You keep forgetting this. Okay. Why am I, the oldest sister of the 7 stakes of Purgatory, being summoned for menial tasks like this? Even though Beatrice-sama could have been told one of the younger sisters who looked like they've got nothing better to do. Sheesh. Why so grumpy, Ned-chan? If you're hungry, eat a cookie or something. Why don't I give you my last one? How thoughtful. Then, shall I take one? I casually pushed the snack plate with the last remaining cookie over to her. Thank you. As though coming as a period at the end of a sentence, a sharp sound pierced the table. The nails on the 3 of her fingers extended, grew sharp. That's a Nepeta Homestuck reference right there. And pierced the space between my fingers on the hand that was pushing the plate, missing them by a hair's breadth. It had happened in an instant, so for a while I didn't even realize that her fingernails had grown. The tips of the sharp nails were like blades with a red manicure. The space between the bases of my fingers hurt sharply. Those razor-like blades had been plunged into the table a hair's breadth away from the back of my hand and my fingers. Because of those 3 blades, I wasn't able to even let my careless right hand tremble and by now, all I could do was let a bead of cold sweat drip down. Oh, Ned-chan, isn't it about time you cut your nails? It's Lucifer, and that is my glorious name. The Hound Furniture who serves Beatrice-sama and the oldest sister of the 7 stakes of Purgatory. He's not like my disgraceful younger sisters. If you don't show proper respect, you will regret it. And why would I regret it exactly? Can't really think of a reason. Stupid kid! Do you really want to play with me that much? Was it that unforgettable? I'll thrust my stake deep, deep into you and let you enjoy being gouged at the fullest, okay? Damn it. Someday I'll have you down on the floor and say the same thing. Oh, really? Now I can't wait. Rosa eventually regained her calm. The man wanted to hurry her into talking faster, but Kairi intervened. If something like that really had happened, then it would have been a terrible experience that Rosa wouldn't want to remember. After taking several deep breaths with her hand over her chest, it seemed that she had more or less resolved herself to talk. How old was I then, I wonder? Middle school, probably? Though I don't remember well. Anyway, I think I was about that age.
Which means maybe about 20 years ago.
Back then, my grades weren't very good, and Mother was always angry at me. I tried to do my best in my own way, but I couldn't match up with Mother's expectations at all.
Mother was always very strict with Rosa. I sympathized with her at the time.
You say that even though you were always talking behind her back.
Would you give it a rest, Eva? And then? Where did you meet Beatrice, Rosa-san?
Hideyoshi-san, you mustn't rush her now. It's okay, Rosa-san. Tell us at your own pace. Thank you. It was a day I've been harshly scolded by Mother. Even though my tutor had promised to keep it a secret, apparently they told Mother all about how I had complained. Mother scolded me brutally, saying my name was a disgrace to the Ushiramiya family. Of course, I was doing the best I could. But I had none of Krause's-Nissan's dignity. I couldn't get excellent grades like Eva-Nissan, and I had no leadership abilities like Rudal-Nissan. I never stood out. I didn't particularly excel at anything, and I found myself asking why I've even been born into the Ushiramiya family. I began to question more and more why I'd even been born at all. This is what happened on the day I experienced my mind going blank for the first time. For the first time in my life, I realized that in addition to facing or surrendering to my problems, I had the third choice of running away. Though I say run away, there was no way I could have left Rokkenjima and gone somewhere else. But anyway, I wanted to run away from the mansion and my own self at that time. In a way, it was like a kid running away from home. Or maybe a passive sort of suicide. I wanted to disappear. Or maybe it was a childlike form of resistance where I tried to make my parents worried by disappearing. I childishly thought that if I went into the center of the forest, escaped from the Ushiramiya house, and maybe became lost, then I'd make them worry and teach them a lesson. And then you went into the forest that you were told never to enter. Yes, after reaching the beach, I followed alongside the ocean. I didn't have any particular reason, but I felt that if I went around to the opposite side of the island, there might be a place there that no one knew about, which might become a hidden house, just for me.
If you go around by the beach, it'll be impossible. It becomes a cliff part way, right? There's no way you could have passed that way.
Of course. So I kept going wherever I could, which kept taking me deeper and deeper inland. It's a horrible forest without any paths, but that was comforting to me then. If I could make it through such a dangerous forest, then I'll be much further away from the Ushiramiya family. How shameful! If you were scolded because of your grades, all you had to do was work harder.
You mustn't say that. Doesn't Rosa have your talent as a designer instead?
Literally speaking, he was covering for Rosa, but everyone knew that Rosa's company had been profitable.
Quit it. This is no time for sarcasm. So you managed to end up there by coincidence. At Beatrice's hidden mansion.
Rosa nodded weakly.
About how far did you walk? Could you show it to us on a map? Natsui-san, do you have a map of this island?
No, there isn't one here now. It wouldn't help. I was just walking randomly. Even if you gave me a map, I wouldn't know. And 20 years have passed since then. I probably couldn't reach it again even if I went into the forest. Several people let out a dejected sighs. It was vividly clear that in their haze that they thought some hint related to the witch of a theft, or maybe even though gold itself might be resting there. I was thinking, but I got nothing.
On Ronkenjima, only the land around the mansion is already to be deployed on. The rest is completely uncultivated, and it's probably take a lot of work to survey the entire island.
But just knowing that it actually exists is helpful. It would take some money, but if we enlisted an aerial photography company to investigate, or ask the businessman who constructed this mansion about what happened at the time, we could probably find some way to search for it. That's right. At least we have more options now as opposed to when we weren't sure it existed.
Indeed. It may be worth investigating right away.
The siblings will do that investigation together. We won't leave you on your own, Nissan. It wasn't yet certain that the gold was hidden on that secret mansion, but the sparks seemed to have started flying between Kraus and Eva already.
Give it a rest now, you two. Rosa, please continue.
Yes. Randomly, I kept running on and on. Suddenly, I came across something I thought was an animal trail. I was very tired and had no idea how far I walked. So at the time, I naturally took the easiest path. This song is so nice. As I did, suddenly, right before my very eyes, a very, very tall fence appeared. It was a fence wonderfully adorned in a Gothic style. For an instant, I thought I couldn't turn around and return to the original mansion. Of course, there were fences around the mansion to stop us from entering into the forest, but this fence was decorated differently. And moreover, it was very tall. It probably reached the full 2 stories up. It was covered with ivy and created a mysterious solemn atmosphere. At the time, I believed in the legend of the witch of the forest, Beatrice. I had been